I'm going crazy. 무뎌져.
I'm too scared to say it in words that I have feelings for you, but he got startled then. So you're in love with my sister. Chung's eyes widened and he gulped, seeing Suga standing just in front of him, with arms folded and raised eyebrow. Hyung. Suga sat on couch, with Jungkook standing in front of him as if he had moved from his place. Yoongi will throw a punch at him. Sit. Suga patted the place beside him on the couch. Jungkook looked at him to confirm and slowly said, making a good distance, "You didn't answer me. Did I ask something wrong?" Jungkook shook his head quickly. Suga folded his arm and faced him properly. I'm just nervous about your reaction. You're her brother now before being my friend, so you will not like your friend being in love with your sister. Jungkook spoke looking down. And why did you think that I'll react in this way? Jungkook faced him. This happened in all of K-drama. I saw this. Suga facepalm ready to throw hands at this little piece of shit but controlled. You should stop watching these K-dramas. Suga put his hand on Jungkook's shoulder and took a deep breath to talk. Look, Jungkook, I know you from more than 10 years when you were just a 14-year-old kid. I know that what type of person you are. You will never hurt Ryan even if I gave you permission to have a relationship with her. But for the time being, you need to wait. Jungkook looked at him confused that if you trust him, then why wait? I know what you are thinking right now. It's good for her. She needs time to recover from her father's. And just imagine you proposing her while she is sad because of her father leaving her suddenly. Will she be in a better mindset to answer you? Jungkook shook his head. Suga is right. She is handling with too many emotions right now. Asking her to have a new relationship will only make her more depressed. I understand, Hyung. For the time being, I'll not talk about this to her. Suga patted Jungkook's shoulder, nodding. And I have a special mission for you. What? After 2 days, all the time being in your room was suffocating that after 2 days you decided to go to university. Maybe keeping your mind diverted by study will help you to come back to normal life. You didn't talk that much to anyone at home. As boys brought you into their home to live after your father's from hospital, you were still staying there. So today you decided to bring your clothes and accessories here too after university. Reaching university, you were walking in the corridor, but today's students were looking at you with some weird gaze. You didn't mind it much and went to your class. Sitting on your chair, you placed your book on your desk. Many students were already in class and talking to each other just when you heard your name getting pronounced by a group of students sitting not so far away from you. You diverted your attention to them by hearing what they were saying, because some of them were eyeing you too. But a pity. She was already a daughter without mother and now her father also. Now she is an orphan. Yeah, we didn't have seen any other guardian of her, so she doesn't even have a boyfriend. Don't pity her. She is from a rich family and her rich mafia father must have left good wealth for her. And maybe she is the reason of her parents leaving her. What a disappointment. You were hearing every word there and it was breaking yourself apart. Thinking, what if you really are the reason? And a disappointment for your parents. But what you even did that made them left you, and somehow these people will never understand you. They have lived such a peaceful life without having any worry like you did. Living without a mother was never easy for you, in all men who don't even know a single thing about females, always trying your best in everything to not make your father or friends worry about you, and in the end you didn't get a little happiness? But what if this isn't the end, but just another start? Your thoughts chain was broken when the professor entered your class, making all the students attentive in their seats. Good morning, students. So today, before starting the class, I would like to introduce you to a new student in our class. Please come in. Your professor gestured to the students standing outside the classroom while students were saying that why will a student take admission now? It was already the third quarter of semester, but your eyes were in instant shock when you saw the student. Jungkook, all students again start to gossip because who doesn't know the youngest mafia, Jeon Jungkook. Girls are already drawling that you wish to pass. They choose to wipe their drawl off. Jeon Jungkook will be one of our honorable students on our last year of this batch. Yeah, this professor is just buttering because she knows who he is and why the heck he needs to take admission now. He has already graduated. You thought it will be better if any one of you don't try to mess with me. If someone did, then Jungkook had his glaring eyes on that gave everyone shivers from top to bottom. You can sit, but he gestured to the professor. I will decide where I have to sit. You start your class. Saying this, he walked forward and stopped just beside your seat, which was empty because no one was sitting with you. His poker face turned into a bunny smile, making everyone shocked with his behavior. May I? He asked, pointing at the chair beside you. You nodded. He sits beside you without any book. Yes, he doesn't have any bag or book to study. Wow. Students were still looking at you both until the professor started to teach, and you decided to ask him now. Jungkook, what are you doing here? He shrugged his shoulder and picked one of your writing books and picked one of your pen, pretending he's focusing on class. You closed the book in front of him. Don't pretend like you are here to study. I know you very well. You don't like to study these pet books. He eyed you from side, gulping because he can't tell you the real reason. He promised Sugar to protect you from every devil, i.e. without you knowing it, because it can affect you badly if you know about it. I just wanted to enjoy the student life. Yes, he chuckled and tried to lie properly. What a sudden thing. Jung nodded. You shook your head and focused on your study. While Jung started to eye every student in class, his eyes were enough to catch a suspicious person. There were almost 50 students in class, all sitting together. He noticed you were the only one sitting alone before he came and sat beside you. His heart pinched in pain, thinking how much you have gone through and still going on. He wishes to share your pain with him, but he can't. Just then a female student caught Jung looking at her side. She shyly smiled and winked at him, thinking he was eyeing her in that way. Jung made a disgusting face looking on the other side. His eyes trailed to your face. He was focused on writing and listening to the professor. The way your natural and beautiful eyelashes blinked, your pointed small nose that he wanted to bob with his, but it can be disrespectful. Your cherry lips are moving while reading, and your side cheeks dimple, which become visible when you move your lips up. Your cheeks become more stuffed and up, and the way your little baby hairs were on your head. You have done a high ponytail with all hairs at the back in the ponytail. He found it cute. Those baby hairs were hiding your side profile from his eyes, so he moved his hand up to your face. His fingers came in contact with your skin, making you flinch. But seeing he was the one, you relaxed and asked him with your eyes and head what he is doing. He shook his head and placed your baby hairs behind your ear, looking in front. You also sighed and looked in front. The class finished and all students started to leave the classroom. You looked at Jungkook and he didn't even budge because he fell asleep during the class. Wow. You placed your hand on his hair. His hair are so fluffy. From childhood you have always teased him on his hairs. That is like why you don't have such beautiful fluffy hair, and he will be like, you have this long and beautiful hair even from mine and more. Even after having such a cold personality and being an introvert, he has always tried to be a happy pill for you. When you get hurt by falling down or in training, he had always run to bring the bandage for you, and he will treat you while scolding you. And your cooking, you still remember when you first time cooked for him and he made an angry face. If he made an angry face while eating, that means your dish is best. But he looks so cute too when you don't give him the attention he wants. He will be standing straight like a statue until you will look at him. You chuckled at your beautiful memory with him. But then you remembered the talk 2 days ago when he wanted to say something but he didn't. What's going on in his mind? He thought, but then he opened his eyes directly looking at yours. His head laying on his folded arms. Your hand was still in his hair and the cloth was already empty. He fell asleep in class. He again closed his eyes, rubbing them and sitting up. That professor was such a boring person. She better open a YT channel of sleep therapy instead of being a professor. You laughed at his comment while he got up from the chair, brushing his hair and making them look better. You picked your books up and put them in your bag while walking out of class with him. You entered the cafeteria with him. He looked at all full place and tried to find an empty table with his sharp eyes. Van go sit there on the left, second last table. He told you and you obeyed him and went to sit in that place. While waiting for him, a group of female students whom you don't even know stood in front of you. You looked at them questioning their presence. One of them scoffed at you. Wang Guan from last year batch, an arts faculty student, and an orphan. They laughed at you, making it a joke. You sat there watching them. You just don't want to have a bad image in last year after all her work of past 3 years. And are you mute too? Why don't you say a word? Why will she say a word? She only have a talent to summon a handsome mafia, right? She glared at you like you owned her favorite thing and she can't. Scoffing at her, you looked at the other side. What an audacity to scoff at me. Yeah, I shouldn't have done it. It's a cheap action. They look at you like you were some piece of shit. I should have beaten the shit out of you instead of that. You said that made one of them angry. She moved forward to fight with you, but Oops, I think I accidentally spilled the sauce on you, he said in a sarcastic way while the girl was now disgusted with her hair and dress, and even her friends were not touching her. Sorry to say, Ryan, your university cafeteria food is not of my type, cheap like some people. He eyed those girls, and you know, when I entered this university, I said don't try to mess with me. And my may include this girl, Ryan, in front of you all too, whom you just called cheap and disgusting. If I had to go against my rules, your heads would have been on floor chopped off from your bodies. His eyes were enough to make those girls run away from there. There was a pin drop silence in whole cafeteria, which was full of noises a while ago. Man, get up, we are leaving this cheap, shitty place. You got up, not making him more angry, and he grabbed your hand softly, making everyone there question his actions when it comes to you. And then you both left. Hey, it's better for you guys. Don't mess with these mafias. Don't you guys love your life? You shut up, one of the girls from that group said. Jungkook opened his car door for you. You sat inside and he drove off to a place while someone was on call looking at the whole drama going on. He spoke to a person who was on the other side of the call. Boss, that Jeon guy is here to protect Bang's daughter. It's not easy to take over her now. And online, other side of person commanded something, making him this person smirk. Sure, boss. He placed the phone inside his pocket while having a smirk on his face and his eyes over Jungkook's car, which was exiting the main gate of university. Let's begin the game.